after our meeting in Guildhall in London. We approach our alumni with several questions, but mostly they speak openly about the subject. They didn't follow the questions and they were more comfortable speaking freely about the subject. In our school we have one course that is the theatre course, and it splits himself in 3 areas, that it's acting, set design and managing. All the courses have a theoretical spine together, but the objective areas are divided since the first year. So the soft skills that we're trying to deal with our students are really different and in a different stage of the course. So it's not that they are all with the same kind of questions in the same time. So, and the alumni that we recorded the statements, they are longer or sooner alumni in our timeline, in our school timeline. So we're really trying to have different kinds of opinions and different views about the subject. It's not an easy subject, as we know, but I really think that this might be helpful through the Portuguese eyes, and let us know if you need anything more.
I'm Elizabeth Paiva. I studied at ESTC. I was one of the first students in the cultural management course. Nowadays I work as a cultural programmer. As I see it, entrepreneurship is a concept that is paradoxical in the arts. At the same time, within the arts, I think you are naturally an entrepreneur. Someone working in the artistic field is someone with an urgency, an initiative, a will to project outside himself or herself to do something. And that is one part of being an entrepreneur. What the school can offer you is certain skills that may better prepare you to work as a professional. As a cultural management former student, I think I had the privilege to have had within my graduate course the opportunity to deal with some specific knowledge within this field, such as cultural management as a specific tool. If I was an actor, if I was a director, if I was a set designer, I think I would have needed, or even today, even after nearly 20 years after finishing my graduation, I think as a student of another course that is not cultural management, I would have needed cultural management skills. It's not, and I don't think it is very interesting that as an actor or as a director, I would have to do a course myself, to specialize myself in these skills. But the most important thing that a school can offer you is a context where all the different specialities can be together to work for one sole process, which is the development of a project. Each one of us has a different speciality, has a different skill that has to be deeply developed within the time of a graduation. But a common language has to be set, and it is in that sense of having a common language to work with as specialists that I believe that maybe a discipline of cultural management that is common to all of the students, as we have history of the theater or dramaturgy or art history, could be useful so that actors, set designers, directors, cultural managers have a same vocabulary and they can communicate to better fulfill their projects as a team. But to imagine that an actor, an artist has to be a specialist in entrepreneurship. It's so vague that the school would decide to create a course only dedicating to this field. I don't think it would be as useful as the creation of this common vocabulary could be. Disciplines as cultural management, but also disciplines in the field of, let us say vaguely, who are your stakeholders, audience development, the programmers. That would be something more useful than doing a master in entrepreneurship, which I believe will not be as fruitful for what is really needed to do theater or to do performance, to work as a professional. I think what people really need is to understand better the particular skills that each one has and to have a common ground of understanding to develop a project together. I think that the school essentially provides you a context that will develop better your soft skills in this field and this common ground that I've been talking about, and that's it.
Well, when I immediately finished my course, I did not get a job immediately, as many of us do, and the school actually did not offer the tools for me to make the transition more easier, because the school teaches one to be an artist, but not to be a working actor or a working director, or well, it doesn't prepare you for the market. It gives you contacts, and it puts you up there in a little bit in the spotlight, but it doesn't prepare you for the real market, for advertising, for photo shoots, for TV series, and whatnot. What kind of skills would I like to have learned? Well, how to write a resume, how to make a good, I talked about this already, how to make a good show reel, how to have nice pictures in my agency. So these were the kind of things, how to promote myself, how to sell me, how to sell my work, how to assemble a show. And these kind of tools would have been really helpful, not just to because the common thought is to, okay, you get out of school, then you go to a theater company, or and that doesn't work anymore. Well, it didn't 15 years ago, and I'm sure it does not work that way. Well, to sum up my opinion about this, well, nowadays we live in a world with a lot of options and a lot of media, and a lot of, you can do your, being an actor is not just being on stage or on set or on a for movie or TV. It's much more broader than this. So you have to have a skill set that prepares you to the market, for the social media. Most of us don't know how to work with social media. We just post some things at random times, and no, we have to learn how to work with that. We have to learn how to promote ourselves. We have to learn what's the best angle, not visually, but or also visually, but also artistically. How can we be a different product and at the same time useful for a production?
My name is Rita, and I was here in the school studying set design at first time, and at second time I was studying production in theater, and it was, I think that all the skills I I learned in here were important, but in fact I came back for production to learn something more that could be good for me to get in the market and to start doing my own things. In my first program in the school, we hadn't any kind of internship, but in the production program we had it, and it was really nice for me. And I think if when you choose an internship, you should really think about it. Not just okay, that's a big company and I'm going there and it's good for my CV. Because when you do that, if you do that and you spend all the time like taking coffees, it's not that good for you. But otherwise, if you, on the other hand, if you choose a good project or a good company, I think the most important is to have a good master. You really have to conquer the trust. Once you do that, I think people just teach you and don't have they don't try anymore to hide something from you. And it's good. So if I had to tell you something for your life, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. Just keep the good people with a lot of knowledge and learn with them. Yes. Make them trust you and then learn with them. It's really important. And I think this is not all about the school. What school should do. You should do that also. It's something for life. When you end this period of learning, you have to keep on going and learn with all the things you do. And with work, you learn a lot, and with this kind of internships, you can learn a lot if you choose the right people to be around you. That's other thing that bothers me. It's in Portugal, actors have managers, but all the other professionals doesn't. And I think that's what is missing in Portuguese market.